Hello everybody, this is Christine coming to you later on a Tuesday night. It was a little bit to get here, but lots of fun in the process, and I think I figured out what I wanted to share with you tonight. So I'm gonna load the comments so I can watch you girls as you come in, and we're gonna be playing with Shimmer paint tonight. Fun, fun, fun. So I've got different ways that you can use Shimmer paint, and I am sure that there are going to be more than what I show you, but I have 4 different ways that I want to show you that I would use Shimmer paint. And if you're not familiar with what Shimmer paint is, you're going to get to learn. Yay! So let me just pull up my video as I have it going here, then I can watch. All right. So it is a little bit later on a Tuesday night. Normally I would like to get going a little bit earlier, but tonight I helped dig and play in the dirt, getting ready for the garage and she shed work that we're gonna be doing. So playing in the snow too. Can you believe it? We had a lot of snow on and off throughout the day. I'm glad it didn't amount to much, but it was just cold enough though that it would keep snowing. So Jean is watching. Yay. Hi, Jean. Hi, Karen. Thanks for joining in. Girls, we're going to be playing with some Shimmer paint tonight. So I don't know if either of you have played with Shimmer paint, but why don't you let me know if you have or you haven't, and maybe as I'm going, let me know what you would do with Shimmer paint as well. So hi, Karen. So hi, Stacy. Thanks for joining. Stacy, I thought of you as I was getting ready for tonight, because we were at the Leapers crafting retreat and you put some of the Shimmer paint into a spritzer bottle. So I'm gonna try to replicate that. Hi, Rhonda. Hey girls, how are you doing? Just gonna give people a second more to get logged in here before I get going. So fun stuff. So I was just saying, if you girls have any other ideas for working with Shimmer paint, that you should share them throughout the video. I have about 4 ways of what I'm gonna do with showing you Shimmer paint. So, hi Carol, happy Tuesday. Did anybody have tacos tonight? Because it's usually Taco Tuesday. Karen, you haven't played with it. Okay, so that's exciting. So hopefully you learned something tonight with Shimmer paint. It's kind of fun. It can be a little bit intimidating, but once you get used to it, it's all good. So, all right. So I'm gonna flip my camera down so you can see what I'm looking at. So this is the annual catalog, and I've got it open to page 181 and 180. So this is towards the end. Hi, Katie. So, hi, Angie. We're going to be playing with Shimmer paint tonight. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here so you can see. So the Shimmer paint is in the annual catalog. They have 2 different colors. There's Champagne Mist and there's Frost White. So here's the Frost White one, and then here is the Champagne Mist. So those are the 2 in the catalog. But I also wanted to call out the fact that there is also a Rose Gold one available. But the way that you get the rose gold is by ordering the Everything is Rosy medley. And so last week I did a card making class on putting the Everything is Rosy cards together. And I don't believe I had this out when we were working on the cards. And so I wanted to call out that there is one more Shimmer paint, and it's in that medley. The medley is on sale for 60% off right now. So you get a stamp set, a framelit, what else do you get in there? Paper, and some ribbon, 2 rolls of ribbon, and then this rose gold Shimmer paint. So I just wanted to call that out because I want to show you that. So there's Champagne Mist, Frostbite. Now last year's catalog, they had a silver one and they also had a copper one. So if you happen to get those are also, they're the same thing, just different colors. So the other thing that we're going to be using tonight, I want to show you, there's aqua painters in here. Also a Stampin' Spritzer. So I've got the aqua painter down here, and I've got a spritzer down here, and also I've brought in some paint brushes that we're gonna work with, so you can use those. Hi, Diane. And then also I have over here the Stampin', let's move this just a little bit, the Stampin' sponges. So I brought them down here. So Stampin' sponges, they come 3 sponges in a pack. So I think I got this back when they used to be 5 in a pack. So what I do is I cut them down and into little triangles. So those are the Stampin' sponges, and I'm also going to be using the sponge daubers. So these are all the different mediums that you can use when you're working with the Shimmer paint. So again, these are on pages 180 and 181 of the annual catalog. Hi, Peggy. Thanks for joining in. We're playing with Shimmer paint tonight. So, okay. So that's a little bit about what we're going to be using. Also, I don't want to leave out Stella. Stella is also another way that you can use the shimmer paint. So I'm going to set her out here so that we don't forget to use her. So I don't have a specific card that I created for you girls tonight. Basically what I've done is I've gone through and I found different cards and then I'm going to kind of replicate how they were done. So hi Sarah, so that you can see different ways to use them. Hey Naughty Nancy, thanks for joining us. Okay, so that's a little bit about what we're going to do. So I'm going to flip back down here and move this out of the way. And I want to start with this card right here. So last week we worked with the Everything is Rosy suite of products. And we had this card that we made, and this is embossed with the Country Floral embossing folder. And in this case, we left it so that it was blank and not shimmered on. Now this card has a little bit of that frost action going on. So there's two different ways that you can get that look. And that is, and we're gonna actually do it on this card. So because I think on all my other samples I had already done the frosting. So this is, yes girls, we're frosting tonight. So this is where you can use either your sponge dauber or you could use your Stampin' Sponge. And don't worry if your Stampin' Sponges get tainted with some ink, that's not gonna impact it whatsoever. So what you're gonna do for this is you wanna shake up your shimmer paint. And this one I'm gonna be pulling in the rose gold because that's what coordinates with the rose gold, the foil paper here, and also the colors in here. So what you do is you shake it up like a salt shaker. And what you'll do is just when you open up, just be very careful. The last thing you want to do is spill this on your project or all over the place. So what I generally do is I don't work with the tub here. So I'll set that off to the side. I like to work in the cover. So what I'll do is I'll take my sponge dauber, and it fits on your finger, and just dip right into the cover. And you can see that it got a lot on it. That's gonna be way, way too much to go over to your project. So what you're gonna wanna do is start off of the paper. Like look at that, it's really, really thick and wet. So you don't want to get that so thick on your image. So you're gonna work off on the side here. You can see I have the same paper as last night. So just kind of go off onto the side until you get it to the point where it's a lot softer. And once it's gotten softer, my rule of thumb is to start somewhere where you're not gonna see it. So like generally I would have started over underneath this image over here, but because that's already glued down pretty good, I'm not gonna start there. I'm gonna take my chances and start on the corner here, but look at how much I've gotten off already. So what you're gonna, and it's already still thick. So what I started to do was come over on there, on the corner here, and you can see it's still a little thick. So I'm gonna work off a little bit more here. And then you're just gonna go with a light feathery stroke over the top of the raised image. Now, less is best because you can always add more. It's hard to take it away. So I've already even went off a little bit more here because I noticed it was still a little bit thick. You put your card in the paint. No, I didn't. It's all dry over here. It's wet over here. So I was actually gonna use that to dip into. Did I? No, I think I'm good. Oh, maybe I did just a little bit, but good call, Angela. You have really good eyes. So I'm just going over this like that. So I'll hold this up to the camera just in a second so you can see it. But you see how much I got off of there? So as you use the sponge dauber, you're going to have to add a little bit more to it. So I do have a bunch sitting there. So if I would need more, I could always dip it back into there. But for right now, I think I'm good. You want to have a light press to this so that you don't get into the grooves. So look at that. All right, one more little bit over here. There. Okay, so you can see what I did? I just sponged over the top of the embossed image here. So basically, what you can do is emboss any kind of image with any embossing folder you want, and you can like add shimmer to it with this paint by just taking a sponge dauber. The other option would be, if you want, you could use a sponge. And in this case, I've got extra ink right there. Hi, Carrie Schumacher. Hi, Jennifer. So you could also dip in there with a sponge. So with the sponge though, it's really hard to get into the cover with it. So that's why I like the sponge dauber. If you wanted to, you could, like, if you get extra on the side there, you could use the sponge. And you would do the same kind of thing with the sponge. You would just go around in light circles until you get as much as you want on there. But this is basically the rest of the Everything is Rosy class that I didn't really show you how to use the shimmer paint last week. So yeah, so isn't that a really pretty cool effect to add to a card? So basically, like, just think of that. Any kind of erased, if you just want to add a little bit of glitz to a card, that is the perfect thing to do. Okay, so that's using shimmer paint with sponges. Okay, so what you would want to do is, hi Dar, hi Vicky. What you would want to do after you're done with this is you would want to take it over to the sink and wash it out. This isn't something you want to let sit overnight or for days in your sponges. Where with ink pads, if you leave the ink in there overnight, I find that because they're water-based, they come out really easily. So, okay, so that's sponging. Now, another thing that you can do, now girls, I'm bringing in some cards that have retired product on them. So if you're looking for some of this product, sometimes it shows up on the clearance rack and sometimes it doesn't. But I wanted to show you the effect of this without having to go spend hours creating a card. So this is the card. It is definitely an older set. It was, I don't remember if it was called Humming Along or something like that, but it was the Hummingbird. And what I want to show you is the difference between these two cards. And it's probably really hard to see it in the camera, but if you look at this one on the left, it's plain and there's no glitzies on it. But if you look at this one, you can see little speckles. Like here, there's just a speckle. Up here, there's some speckles. So I had a white piece of, like, it must have been shimmer white paper. And what I did is I did a soft watercolor wash on here with some balmy blue ink and an aqua painter. So that's how the blue tone got on there. But you can see all these cool speckles all the way around here. So I want to show you how to do the cool speckles because that uses shimmer paint. So what I'm going to do, because I never got around to doing it on this card, I want to show you how to do it on this card. So this is a little bit of a hot mess. So what I generally do sometimes is I partition things off with paper so that you don't get stuff splattered all over the place. So here I'm going to be using the champagne mist. So when you do this, you always want to shake it up first. And in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in my Stella pen. So what I'll do is open this up and I'm going to dip my Stella pen into the cover and get some of this stuff onto the brush of the Stella pen. And what I'll do is I'm going to pull my scissors out and I hold my, you need like a hard object. And what you're going to do is just bang the Stella onto, let's just make sure I got everything covered up. You're going to bang that onto, like, so that it splits all over the paper. Okay, so, and this is where you never know where it's going to end up going. So you don't want to have it hit things that you don't want. But so right now what it did is it hit down here. So it basically went backwards and I got a little bit up here. So I'm going to add a little bit more to the brush and I'm going to turn the card this way and you're just going to bang this. So if Gina is watching, this is one of Gina's favorite things to do. And she loves doing this all over my desk and getting glitter all over the place. So there's a little bit and I'm going to bring it up closer to the camera because right now it's really hard to see where I'm hitting, but I just dipped, in this case I just dipped in the jar because there's not much in my cover. But what you're going to do is just take and hit your Stella pen against the card. And these little splotches are going to come off onto your card. Okay, so I'm going to get just a little bit more. So just hang tight because I'm going to show you in a second what it looks like. And so it's like it's hitting everywhere except for on the card. So, okay, all right. So I don't know if you can catch this, but there's little spots and little, like there, you can see one up here. What it did is it just put a lot of little splatters of, let's see if you can see some. There's one on the bird here. It just put little splatters of shimmer paint all around here. So it just adds a little bit of texture to your card. So that's what another trick for this is. instead of using, so when you're done with the Stella pen, you can just take a paper towel and just wipe that out. I mean, it's already full of glitter, so it's okay to get that full. So that's a trick. Now, the other thing you could do instead of your Stella pen is you could use a paintbrush. So here's a thin little paintbrush I have from painting ceramics back in the day. And what you can do is just gently pull in some of this into the paintbrush. Yep, it adds a lot, doesn't it? And the same thing, you would just take your scissors and hold that and just splatter all across your, hey Nancy. Okay, so, and I'm gonna just do it one more time to see if I can show you a little bit more. Now, the more that you have in the paintbrush, the more the splotches you're gonna get and the bigger the splotches you're gonna get. Okay, so let me just show you here. So you can see all along the bottom here that it just added a whole bunch of splotches. So it's just, you can add as much or as little as you want, depending on how much you want of that splattery look. So again, with the paintbrush, what you'll want to do, hey Angie, what you'll want to do after you're done with this is definitely go and rinse it out. Okay, so that's using a thin paintbrush, and that's like, I call that the splatter technique. So like this is the card that I had done already. You can see like the splashes all over the place, like over along through here. It just adds a lot to the background of a card in case you just don't want a white background or what, like a solid background. Okay, so that's splattering with a paintbrush. If you get it on your scissors, just, you can use like rubbing alcohol to get it off of there. Or just wipe it off with a paper towel. It's just like battle scars on a scissors. If you get it all colored full of glitter, it's all good. Okay, so you do need to give this a second to dry, because if you put stuff on top of it, it will smear it. So you do want to give it a second to dry. Okay, so far so good, girls. I see a lot of girls are watching. Thank you for joining me tonight. Make sure that you like and share and comment. I really appreciate it. My followers are growing, and it's all because you girls are sharing the videos, and so you must be enjoying them, so that's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna flip down. You can see the next card. So I got this card as a swap card, and I put it away for and to never give away card. This one is this is one of those cards that you collect forever because it's just so pretty and it's got ideas with it. So I'm seeing lots of likes coming with this, I think. So this was from that snowman set that was available in the holiday catalog this past winter. And the Let It Snow came in here, but this is absolutely stunning. Look at all those hearts coming in. Okay, I want to show you how you would do this background. And if you saw, I did have this card up on my swap display board for a while, but this background is super, super cool. So Stampin' Up! Has a paper that is, it's called Shimmer white paper. And I don't know if you can see it in the camera, probably not, but the Shimmer white paper, I'm going to show you actually where it is in case you're wondering. It's with the paper section. So after you get done, it's like right here. So you get you have all your color families in the catalog, and then you go to the designer series paper. Then you come over here, and this is where you have all your white paper, but there is, it's under here, shimmery white cardstock. You get 10 sheets for 10 bucks. And it is the perfect background that just gives you a little bit of glitz. And Jean's asking what punch or die was used for the label on the Hummingbird card. So going back to this card right here, Jean, this label was part of the Hummingbird set. So it was part of the label set. So this was in the Occasions catalog from last year in 2019. So if you still have that catalog, you could go back and check that out. Okay, so going back to this card, this is the Shimmer White, and Jennifer says she loves the shimmer paint. So I'm so happy to be sharing that with you, because sometimes it's intimidating to use stuff that you don't know how to use. So what I want to do is just show you. This background is super easy. So pick whatever color shimmer paint you want. And in this case, I want to use the Frost White on the shimmer paper. So in this case, what you're going to need is a little bit wider of a paintbrush. And so all you're gonna do, and I actually need to go buy some more of this I have an order going in, I'm all the way down to the bottom. I've used this shimmer paint a lot. So what you're gonna do is take a wider paintbrush like this, and all you're gonna do is wash this back and forth on your shimmery white cardstock, and it creates this awesome background. So it's like an iridescent shimmer look. So watch this, I'm almost done. You do have to give this a second to dry before you use it. So if you want to make a couple of these up ahead of time and then have them as mats and backgrounds, that is perfect. Okay, so Stacy says she thinks the dies might be on the clearance rack. Oh my goodness, good call. So the clearance rack was updated today, girls, and there is a lot of good stuff on there right now. So up to 60% off. So now is the time to get stuff the first day of the clearance rack. And honestly, a lot of the papers go right away, but Jean, you should go check that out on the clearance rack, see if those Hummingbird dies are out there. Okay, so let me pull this up here. Look at this. Look how pretty that is. Oh my goodness. Think of cool wedding cards, frost white cards for winter time. But basically that's all that, I'm trying to remember, Brett is the one that made this card for me for a swap that I was in. But like that's basically all that she did to get that background. So what she did though is, if you notice here, she has the words "Let It Snow" stamped on here. What she did is she stamped the "Let It Snow" prior to doing that wash. So if you do want to like stamp some snowflakes or do any kind of stamping, you want to do that before, because you can see that the iridescent is above the words, okay? So much easier to sell when we know how to use it. Yeah, Angie, good call. So Angie's the gal that suggested I show you girls some products from the catalog. So isn't that pretty? Okay, so basically that's using a thicker paintbrush. And I know most of us, if we do crafts, we have paintbrushes at home. So grab a paintbrush. Now again, when you're done with this, make sure you clean it good. Okay, so that's paintbrushes, different sizes that you use. The other thing too here that I want to show you, I've got two more things, I think. So yes, I do. And the last two are not ones that I've done very often, so we're going to learn together. So I'm going to just move this card, and this isn't dry yet, so I just got my fingers in it. So just know that you need a little time for this to dry. Okay, so I'm going to set that off to the side, and we're going to play here. And Stacy, I'm glad that you're watching, because you were the girl that I saw do this in person at the retreat, the Leapers Crafting Retreat. So I am bringing in a dinner plate because I'm a little bit afraid because of rubbing alcohol and water being involved. So this was the Stampin' Spritzer. It was on the page 180 and 181 of the catalog. And this, you can add water to this. You can add rubbing alcohol to this. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll add the re-inkers. They'll put a little drop or two of ink in here. And then the other thing you do is you can add your shimmer paint to it. So, Stacy, drum roll please. I watched you do this, and I've never done this yet, but we're gonna try it. So I have here about, a little over half full of water. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of rubbing alcohol. This is, you get it at Walgreens, you get it at Walmart, wherever you want, but I put the plate underneath here because water and paper don't mix, and I figured if I spilled, it would spill right onto the plate, which is good. So I'm just gonna top this off with rubbing alcohol. And the reason that you want to use a little bit of rubbing alcohol in this is because rubbing alcohol dries faster than water. So if you have a little mixture of water and the rubbing alcohol, that's good. It'll help it dry faster. Okay, so what I've done is I've added a little bit of rubbing alcohol to this, and I've got a little bit of water, and I think I'm gonna do the pink one because you can see the pink. Yep, so you can use your shimmer paints in this spritzer, or you can use your re-inkers. So Stampin' Up's got all their re-inkers for every color that they have, and you can definitely put re-inkers in there. I've got a bubble one going on here. Let me just, wanna pop that. Okay, so, all right, Diane says she loves this technique. So, all right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna carefully pour a little bit of the shimmer paint in here. And you didn't use water, you used straight rubbing alcohol for yours. So you know what? If that's the case, Stacy just said, I'm gonna put, hey Shar, thanks for joining. I'm gonna put a little bit more rubbing alcohol in here. So we're gonna just see what happens. All right, I added more rubbing alcohol. So again, girls, this is trial and error. When you're at home, just play with it and practice. And all I'm gonna do, you can see it's pretty thick. I'm just gonna add a little bit of that, okay? And I like to keep things clean, so I'm gonna wipe around that so that it doesn't get all cakey. And I'm just gonna put the cover right back on here, and I'm gonna shake it. And you can see what's happening is that shimmer paint is being mixed with the water. And thanks for sharing, Shar. the shimmer paint is getting mixed with the water and with the rubbing alcohol. So what I'm going to do is I had a piece of my shimmer white paper here, and I'm going to, you want to be careful, you don't want to spray too close. Oh, Diane says she only uses rubbing alcohol too. So this is going to be a test here, girls. So if this doesn't turn out for me, then we know that you just want to use rubbing alcohol. So what I'm going to do is kind of hold this up at an angle, and you just spritz it. So I am thinking that what Diane and Stacy both said is that they just use rubbing alcohol, and it's kind of hard to see the pink here, but it is very shimmery. So I'm gonna let this dry, and what's happening is I can see there's a lot of shimmer all the way around here. In the camera, it's really, really hard to see it because of the lighting, but let's see if I hold that a certain way. If you can kind of see where it's wet there, that's also shimmery. So what we learned here is you can put your shimmer paint in your spritzer, but you want to use probably just all straight rubbing alcohol. And hi Judy, thanks for joining. Oh, and Jennifer uses a water and alcohol mix. So you can see it. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to hold this up here again. So let's see here in the light. I know that there. Yep, you can see there you go. You can see all that shimmer. Yep. So it just adds a cool glistening of shimmer to it, okay? So that's how the spritzers work. So it's sounding like people do a mix of alcohol and water or just straight rubbing alcohol, but you can see in here all that shimmer that's in here is from that. You don't really see the pink on here so much, and I'm gonna actually flip it over too and see what the other side looks like. I've seen it done with water, alcohol mix. Yep, good call, Shar. So I'm gonna try one more time. Yep. So it looks cool. Yep, it just adds a lot of little glitzy to it. So cool. All right, so that is using this. The other thing that you can do with the shimmer paint, I'm just gonna leave this piece here, is you have an aqua painter. And with the aqua painter, it's just, you open this up like this and you put water in it. And you can use it for coloring. For the mountain-based class, we're gonna use 3 different color inks, and we're gonna use aqua painters to color the background. Oh, wait, it's right here. This card right here. This is a perfect example. Do you see all of these little spritzes all around the side here? That is doing the technique of hitting the aqua painter or the Stella with the shimmer paint all over here. But this aqua painter was used to create this beautiful stormy background here, like with the pink and the blue and the purple. So this is what we use as an aqua painter, and that was just basically 3 colors. But what I want to show you, another technique is with using an aqua painter, which has a little bit more water. Let's do the pink with this one. Because it has a little bit more water, and in this case, I'm going to dip into the cover as well. And I'm going to do the same kind of concept as the spritzing, but because you're using water, you get bigger chunks of spritzing on here. So I'm going to keep going real quick on this. So as I'm like tapping with the scissors, I'm also squeezing, so water is coming out at the same time. And so I use the pink on here, and so what it does is you get these little splotches of watery, shimmery paint kind of going on. And on that card back here, you can see here, that's what, like some of these splotches that are a little bit thicker, that's aqua painting that with all the different colors, and then using the aqua painter with water and the glitzy to like kind of, it lightens it up in certain spots where the water hits it. So, all right, so that's what you can also do with your shimmer paint. So I had mentioned earlier to you girls that these were my ideas that I had with the shimmer paint. And I had my phone really close, and I've got shimmer paint all over going on here as I'm watching your comments come in. I've got shimmer paint all over. So that's where it's like you almost want to have paper up around so that you don't get shimmer paint over everything. But so there you go. That's another way you can use your aqua painter to get a little bit of that watery, shimmery look going on. So same thing with this though. You want to clean this out as soon as you're done using it. And to clean it out, all you do is you keep squeezing the aqua painter until the color comes out and it comes out clear. So basically the tip just got cleaned out. So you girls, I glittered my phone up. Did you see that? So, okay. So, hi Heather, thanks for joining. Okay, so girls, we had on here working with sponges. We had working with the aqua painter. We had working with the spritzer. We had using your Stella pen. And we had using paintbrushes. So all of these different mediums you can use for working with the shimmer paint, and you end up getting it all over different things. So make sure that you kind of got your surface area where you're working protected. Nancy says pretty phone, right? So those were all the different things that I had. But while you're watching this, if you have different, oh my gosh, I have it all over my tablet too. It's like there's spritzes all over. So some people, what they do is they actually create a little box so that you have a back wall, you have two side walls, and then you have a top wall. And then you set your project in there so that when you're working, you get it all over the inside of the walls and not over everything. So that's just an idea too. Make sure you have a paper towel around as well, because then you can clean up stuff right away. But if you have different ideas of how to use the shimmer paint or different samples, you can share them in the comments feed here so that you can share those with others. And then I can also go back and watch them so that I can get ideas too. So if you have any other ideas, make sure to share them with us. And then what else do we have here? So I did mention about the clearance rack. So if you didn't know that the clearance rack was updated, make sure you go out and check that out. Adhesives. If you girls are local and you need adhesive because you can't wait because you've been making so many crafty things, I have my adhesive basket here for cash and carry, so you can get that. And also, if you flip down here, I do have a host code that's open. So if you need anything, if you need to shop, you can go to my cardsbychrisb.com, and on there, you can go right into my online store and it links it to me, and then you can use that host code. I appreciate any orders. So other than that, I hope you girls had fun stamping with me. We didn't really stamp tonight. We just made a lot of pretty sparkly things. So, oh, Stacy just mentioned here, she likes to shimmer on vellum, and that is a good tip too. So vellum is like a translucent, like frosty paper, and she likes to color on that. And Jennifer mentioned that she likes to use the shimmer paint with the re-inker. So in this case, like you could use the frost white with a re-inker color of like navy or purple or whatever color you want, and it'll give it a shimmery look to it. So that's super cool too. So yeah, so if you want to just keep sharing your comments throughout this, that'd be awesome. And if you can, share the video with your friends. And I will do a drawing. What I decided for tonight's drawing is I made this girl with you girls last week, this cute little What's the Buzz About chocolate holder. So I'll randomly select somebody to win this, and I'll announce that tomorrow on the Facebook Live I do tomorrow night. So, all right, girls, I hope you have a good Tuesday night. I miss everybody, and I hope that you're all staying healthy, sassy, and wise. I love you. Bye.